Tonight, I am going to give you the 6 things older men wear that make women look twice. Not trends, not gimmicks. 6 specific choices that work on a level deeper than fashion, the same way they have worked for 100 years and will keep working for 100 more. Stay with me to the end because the 6th one is the rarest of all, and it is the one that almost no man over 50 thinks to wear, even though it is the most powerful of them all. Let us begin. Number 1, a watch with real weight. Let me start with the wrist, my friend, because it is one of the first places a woman's eye travels and one of the last places an older man thinks about. A watch with real weight on the wrist of an older man does something that almost nothing else in his wardrobe can do. It signals that he lives in a world of intention. In an age where every man under 30 checks the time on a glowing rectangle pulled from his pocket, the older man with an actual watch on his wrist is broadcasting a quiet message. I respect time. I mark my days. I have somewhere to be and a rhythm to my life. But it has to have weight, my friend. Not literally heavy, though a substantial watch certainly helps. I mean presence. A watch with character. A watch that looks like it has a story or could acquire one. A leather strap that has softened with wear. A metal bracelet that catches the light. A face that says something about the man wearing it rather than just blending into his sleeve. Here is what happens when a woman sees this on an older man. Her eye lands on the watch, and in a fraction of a second, her brain assembles an entire impression. This is a man who pays attention to details. This is a man who has chosen something deliberately. This is a man whose life has structure and meaning. The watch becomes a window into the kind of man he is, and women read that window instantly. A bare wrist on an older man reads as a man who has stopped marking his days. A wrist with a watch of real weight reads as a man who is still fully in his life. Wear one every day and watch how often a woman's gaze lingers on it just a moment too long. Number 2, a coat that holds its shape. The second thing that makes a woman look twice is structure across the shoulders, and nothing delivers that like a well-cut coat. I am talking about a proper overcoat, a top coat, a trench, a peak coat, a coat that holds its own shape rather than collapsing around the man inside it. Because here is a truth about the male silhouette that almost no older man understands. As a man ages, the shoulders soften, the posture settles, the structure of the younger body begins to fade, and a good coat does something almost magical. It restores that structure from the outside. A coat with strong shoulders and a clean line gives an older man the architecture he may have lost. It broadens him. It straightens him. It makes him appear, the moment he puts it on, more commanding, more grounded, more like a man who occupies space with authority. There is a reason that across every era of film and photography, the most powerful men were almost always shot in coats. The coat is power you can wear. A woman sees an older man in a coat that holds its shape, and her brain registers instantly a kind of stature. He looks like a man on his way somewhere important. He looks like a man with gravity. He looks like a man whose presence fills the doorway he is walking through. And all of this happens before she has consciously noticed the coat at all. The colors that work hardest for an older man are camel, charcoal, and navy. Timeless, rich, and flattering against silver hair and weathered skin. Avoid anything trendy. Avoid anything cheap. A good coat is one of the best investments an older man can make because it does more to transform his presence in a single garment than almost anything else he owns. When the weather turns, do not reach for a shapeless puffer or a tired old jacket. Reach for the coat and watch the heads turn. Number 3, leather that has lived. The third thing that makes a woman look twice is leather, my friend. But not just any leather. Leather that has lived. I am talking about the leather goods an older man carries and wears. A well-worn leather jacket, a quality leather bag, a pair of leather boots that have developed a patina over years of wear, a leather belt that has softened and darkened with time. Leather that shows its age the way a good man shows his. Here's why this works on such a deep level. Leather is one of the few materials that gets better as it gets older. A cheap synthetic peels and cracks and looks worse every year. But real leather, cared for properly, deepens. It develops character. It tells the story of where it has been and how long it has been there. And a woman looking at an older man wearing leather that has lived sees a beautiful parallel that her mind makes without her noticing. This is a man like this leather, who has improved with age. This is a man whose years have added to him rather than subtracted from him. This is a man who understands that some things become more valuable the longer they last. The leather is a silent argument for the man himself, and women find that argument deeply persuasive. A young man in brand new, stiff, shiny leather looks like he is wearing a costume. An older man in leather that has aged alongside him looks like he is wearing his own history. That is the difference. That is what makes her look twice. Not the leather itself, but the story the leather tells about the man who has carried it long enough for it to become beautiful. Invest in real leather. Care for it. Let it age with you. And let it whisper to every woman who sees it that you like it, have only gotten better with time. Number 4, a single striking color. The fourth thing that makes a woman look twice is the brave and deliberate use of a single striking color. Here's the problem with how most older men dress. They disappear into neutrals. Gray, black, navy, brown, beige, safe colors, invisible colors. The colors of a man who has decided his job is to blend into the background and not be noticed. And the tragic result is that he succeeds. He blends in. He is not noticed. He becomes part of the furniture of the room. The older man who makes women look twice understands a different principle. He builds his foundation in neutrals. Yes, but then he adds one deliberate stroke of color that pulls the eye and signals life. A deep burgundy sweater against charcoal trousers. A rich forest green jacket. A scarf in a warm rust or a bold blue. A single shirt in a color that says, there is still vitality in this man. The key word is single, my friend. One striking color against a foundation of neutrals. Not a rainbow, not a clash of competing brights. One confident note that breaks the gray monotony and tells the world that the man wearing it has not surrendered to invisibility. A woman's eye is drawn to color the way it is drawn to movement. In a sea of older men dressed in beige and gray and black, the one man wearing a confident stroke of deep color stands out instantly. And standing out, when done with restraint and taste, is exactly what makes her look twice. It signals confidence. It signals self-respect. It signals a man who still believes he is worth being seen. Find your color, the one that works against your skin and your hair, and wear it deliberately as the single bright note in an otherwise grounded outfit. It is one of the simplest ways an older man can pull a woman's gaze across a crowded room. Number 5, glasses with intention. The fifth thing that makes a woman look twice is something that sits on the most important part of an older man's body, his face. I am talking about glasses with intention. If you wear glasses, my friend, and many older men do, then your glasses are not a medical necessity to be minimized. They are one of the most powerful style tools you own. They frame your eyes, which are the part of your face a woman is reading most carefully. They sit at the exact center of your presence, and they have the power to either diminish you or elevate you dramatically, depending on whether you have chosen them with intention or simply accepted whatever the optician handed you 15 years ago. Most older men are wearing the wrong glasses. Thin, forgettable, dated frames that disappear into their face and add nothing. Or worse, frames that have been out of style for 2 decades, quietly aging them far beyond their years. They have no idea that the single fastest way to transform their entire look is to change what sits on their nose. The right glasses do something remarkable for an older man. A frame with some architectural character, some thickness, some deliberate shape, instantly signals intelligence, taste, and self-awareness. It says, this is a man who has thought about how he presents himself. It draws the eye toward his face, toward his eyes, toward the very place where connection between two people begins. A woman sees an older man in glasses chosen with intention, and her brain registers a specific archetype, the thinker, the man of substance, the interesting man with something going on behind those eyes. The glasses become a frame around his intelligence, and intelligence in an older man is profoundly attractive. If you wear glasses, go and be fitted for frames that actually suit your face and express who you are. Treat them as the centerpiece of your look, because that is what they are. It is one of the highest return changes an older man can make, and it makes women look twice every single time. Number 6, confidence worn like fabric. Here we are at the 6th thing, my friend, the rarest of all, the one almost no man over 50 thinks to wear. And it is not, in the literal sense, a piece of clothing at all. It is confidence worn like fabric. Let me explain what I mean, because this is the secret that ties all 5 of the previous things together and makes them work. You can own the perfect watch, the perfect coat, the perfect leather, the perfect color, the perfect glasses, and still make no woman look twice if you are wearing all of it with the posture and energy of a man who is apologizing for taking up space. And you can wear the simplest outfit in the world if you wear it with genuine confidence and watch women's heads turn anyway. Confidence is the invisible layer that goes on over everything else. It is in the way a man holds his shoulders, the way he walks without rushing, the way he meets a woman's eyes without flinching and without overstaying, the way he occupies a room as if he belongs in it because he has decided that he does, the way his body language says, I am comfortable being exactly who I am at exactly the age I am, with nothing to prove and nothing to hide. This is the thing that makes women look twice more than any garment ever could. Because clothing catches the eye, but confidence holds it. A woman might notice a man because of his coat, but she looks twice because of the way he wears it. The garment is the spark. The confidence is the fire. And here's the part that should give every older man hope. Unlike youth, unlike a full head of hair, unlike the smooth face of a younger man, confidence is something you can actually build. It comes from making peace with who you are, from accepting your age rather than fighting it, from building a life you respect, from walking through enough of life's fire to know that you can survive whatever comes. The older man has access to a depth of confidence that no younger man can possess precisely because he has lived long enough to earn it. Wear that confidence, my friend. Put it on every morning the same way you put on your watch and your coat, because it is the one thing you wear that no one else can give you, no store can sell you, and no amount of money can buy. And it is without question the thing that makes women look twice the longest. So there they are, my friend, the 6 things. A watch with real weight, a coat that holds its shape, leather that has lived, a single striking color, glasses with intention, and confidence worn like fabric. But I want to leave you with the truth that lives underneath all 6, Because if you take this as a shopping list, you will have missed the deeper point. Every one of these things works for the same fundamental reason. Each one signals a man who has not given up on himself. The watch says he still marks his days with intention. The coat says he still wants to stand tall. The leather says he understands that age can make a thing more beautiful, not less. The color says he still has vitality worth showing. The glasses say he still cares how he presents his mind to the world. And the confidence says he has made peace with the man he has become. That is what makes a woman look twice. Not the objects themselves, but what the objects reveal about the man. The world has tried to convince you that getting older means becoming invisible, fading into the gray background, accepting that no one looks anymore. And the 6 things we discussed tonight are 6 quiet acts of rebellion against that lie. You are not invisible, my friend. You never had to be. You simply have to make the choices that tell the world you are still here, still vital, still a man worth a second look. Start with one thing this week. The watch, the coat, the glasses, whatever is easiest to begin with. And build from there, slowly, deliberately, the way you have built everything else that matters in your life. Because the woman who looks twice is not looking at your age. She is looking at your refusal to disappear. And that refusal is the most attractive thing a man of any age can wear. If this reached you, leave a like. Subscribe for more honest conversations about style, presence, and aging without apology. And tell me in the comments which of the 6 you are going to start with. Until next time, my friend, stand tall, wear it well, and never let anyone, including yourself, convince you that you are too old to be looked at twice.